Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to World of Tanks. Today you see me in the KV4, otherwise, well, I'm not sure if it's a widely used nickname, but I've heard some people call it the KV Fortress, and, well, basically, I understand why. I myself have had difficulty in this vehicle for several reasons, but people call it the KV Fortress because it is very, very well armoured indeed. It says at tier 8, the armour is very flat. As you can see, it has the same shape as that of a KV1 down at tier 5 in terms of the hull armour. But this has jumped up to tier 8 and the frontal armour is increased significantly. The frontal armour on the hull and turret are 180mm thick. I think the sides are 150 of both turret and hull. And I think the rear is 90mm. So, all in all, a very well armoured tank in terms of raw thickness. However, it isn't very well angled, it's very boxy. The turret has got some angling, as you can tell from the front. If you get hit here, it's not going to go in. The turret on top, with this smaller 45mm gun, which you can't use, is also 180 at the front. People often, I've heard, have called it a weak spot, but it isn't. The weak spot is on the stock turret, which has another cupola in a more traditional fashion to other vehicles. I've had problems with the slowness of the vehicle, the fact that people load heat and armour piercing composite rigid shells. The 107mm has a very long aim time, but good penetration of 225, I think. 227, in fact. Slightly better than the IS-3, but mostly comparable. APCR is very good, almost 290. That is basically Lerva standards of APCR. And then obviously HE. There we see a bounced shell on the side here, angled as you saw earlier from a WZ-111-. WZ-111-14. There we go. I do like that vehicle, but its name is very long and annoying. Meanwhile, this Super Pershing is distracted, so I plant a shell right into his side. That T-44 is toast, unfortunately. But, oh, yeah, I forgot to mention this thing weighs over 100 tons. So, ramming is a very nice indeed, and good potential. However, a horrible angle, and put my backside in the air due to the hill, and the WZ manages to penetrate my armour on top of the vehicle on the engine deck and sets me on fire. I have to use my repair kit and he damages my engine. That's my own fault there. I should have realised the hill would have given him an easier pen. That's not the tank's fault, really. Although the fact that it is a huge vehicle does make it harder to hide on hills. We get penned in the front there by another WZ, the 132, the Chinese light tank. Unfortunately, he pulls back into cover just before we can damage him, but we do track him in place. We absorb this next shell. I think the reload is 9.37 seconds on my crew with 100% gun ram events. Very standard setup for heavy tanks. But the traverse speed is very slow. Top speed is very slow. It is quite a hard vehicle to play in some respects. And I've noticed you have to over angle in order to hide your front armour, which can be penetrated by tier 9, tier 10 guns very easily. You may notice we are losing quite heavily. And again that guy gets tracked, but however he probably has a camo crew instead of a repair crew, which it is a light tank after all, so we can reload. The reload of 9 seconds is better than that of the IS-3. And now we're getting shot in the back by that WZ earlier. And you notice how I haven't angled brilliantly, but we're taking shots from the right hand side at range, we're taking shots from the back, we're taking shots from the front. That was a nice tracking shell into the WZ-111. His gun is on the other side, he can't fire back at me, and if I reload in time, nope, his repair is better. He pops out again, we've managed to hit him, and he tracks us once again. However, it's just me, this IS-6 and a 26 Pershing, which has been surrounded at base. Type 59, very nice tank indeed. I don't actually own one, but side armor is not very good, and 227 pen is very nice. Managed to get 2 shells into him before he goes down, but as you noticed, it's me versus, let's see, fit 10 enemies. There's no way I'm getting out of this one. Managing to do damage, I try to get round the other side of this hill. I'm going to pull it back so I see what happens here. WZ hits me, and that's the end of me. I think the WZ hit me in the front around here. Did some nice damage to me, and then I think this Jagdtiger 88 probably set me on fire. Because even though I was slightly angled, he probably aimed just below this metal plate here and penned me quite easily and set me on fire again. So annoying when you get set on fire twice in World of Tanks, but everyone knows that you can't do anything about it. If you carry one fire extinguisher and use it, that's gone. I don't really know many players who use an automatic fire extinguisher as well as a normal manual extinguisher. I don't think it's the done meta, as it were. The done thing usually, of course, is a repair kit, a health kit, a small health kit, and a fire extinguisher, unless you're a premium person and just uses all premium consumables of the same type. Anyway, this wasn't a complete disaster though, because when I looked at the post-game stats, it surprised me a little bit. So here we are with the KV4 post-game stats in the game that I just showed you. Of course, it was a horrible defeat. There were 10 enemies left at the end of the game. Our team only managed to kill 5 of them, and myself only killing 2. But 47,000 credits, 8,000, I wish. 807 experience, 5 for effect, duelist, bruiser, cool-headed. Now, cool-headed is a medal received for surviving at least 10 ricochets in a row. And that's going to give you a little indication of why this game surprised me. Team score, top on the team on damage, base XP, and kills. WZ doing substantial damage. He wasn't a tier 9 in that tier 8 game, however, well, not in a tier 8 game, but there were a lot of tier 8s, is what I'm getting at. Moving on to the detailed report. 16 shots fired, 14 hits, 10 pens. Alright, whatever. 22 hits received, 4 pens, 18 ricochets. Totaling 5,140 damage blocked. Now that did surprise me, especially because I completed Heavy Tank Mission 12, which is block at least 3 times the hit points of your vehicle. 1,650 hit points in the KV4 multiplied by 3 is 4,950, I think. So we only really just managed to do it, but still, that surprised me. I was planning on doing that mission in a T29, just bouncing everything with the turret, and because it's a tier lower and it has less hit points, 1,250, I wouldn't have to block as much. So I was surprised I managed to do it in the KV4. Shame about the result, but oh well, that's how it goes. If you enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like down below. Tell me your thoughts on the KV4 perhaps, and consider sharing the video with your friends. If you're new, hit that subscribe button if you liked what you saw, and I will be doing more in the future. And as always, I've been Geogen. This has been World of Tanks with the KV4 getting horribly destroyed, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.